What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're gonna talk about should Giannis sign the super max contract, and this is something that a lot of people have been wanting to know what I think about it because I do live in Milwaukee. I have seen how they have rebuilt, the arena. I have seen them become the number one team and sell out each and every day, the arena. I have seen people ecstatic and happy because they've been the number one team in the entire NBA for multiple seasons. And I seen the disappointment, by getting put out by Miami in five and losing to the Raptors after being up 2-0 with a chance to go up 3-0 and to lose four straight games and people just being devastated and hurt that the Milwaukee Bucks couldn't get it done these last two seasons after being so dominant in the regular season. Now, I do believe that they had made the right decision trying to get Bogdanovich. You have to put the best team that you can out on the court. And I feel like John Horst tried to do everything he could to prove to Giannis that he's trying to win. He's trying to do what he can to put the team that's necessary to get Giannis and his team over the hump and win a title. I think he has shown that hiring Mike Budenholzer, firing other coaches, and trying to find ways to put the best team around, Giannis and Chris Middleton. And Bogdanovich trade fell through. I feel like that was the right decision to go with him. Obviously, they still do have, Connaughton and DiVincenzo, so they'd be decent at that guard position, but neither one of those players are as good as Bogdanovich. But they also gave up a lot of their future to get Drew Holiday, a guy that was hot these last 2, 3 years, especially in the playoffs. And even when they wasn't, he was still productive. He was still competing. And he is one of the best two-way players in the league and one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. And he is a guy that can take over games. He performs well in the playoffs. And he is a guy that's unselfish. He don't mind getting 19. He don't mind getting 15 points per game if that's what's necessary for the team to win. And he has shown that throughout his careers, but he also has the ability to step up and take over games, control games, and be that guy from time to time throughout the season and throughout the playoffs. And you need a guy like that, and that's why Horst made it a priority to upgrade over Bledsoe, who has been struggling in the playoffs, has been a great defender, has been amazing in the regular season, but it doesn't matter if you can't do it in the playoffs, and that's why they had to move on from him and upgrade that position with Drew Holiday. Now, when I look at the Bucks, I still look at them as one of the best teams in the league. I still put them as one of the championship contenders in the NBA, especially in the Eastern Conference. And a lot of it has to do with Giannis and Middleton and Budenholzer. They know how to compete. They know how to execute. They know how to take advantage of bad teams. They know how to dominate good teams. And they have always played well against the great teams and the elite teams too, but they fall victim to being predictable, being stagnated, and being a team that, isn't what they need to be at the end of the day when it comes to the playoffs. A lot of the stuff that they do in the regular season don't even come close to working in the postseason, and that's why they've been stuck in the same position for the last couple years because at the end of the day, they don't switch up, they don't make adjustments, they don't make massive improvements going into the playoffs, which is unfortunate because that's what you would expect for the number one team in the NBA the last 2 years, and they still have failed to do that. And that's why Mike Budenholzer is on the hot seat. You only can get so many attempts and so many tries to get it right. Then eventually I have to move on and move forward for the betterment of the team. You have to have the results. You have to be able to prove to us that we can trust you, and we have to prove to us that you are able to make the decisions that can ultimately get us to where we're trying to go, and that's winning a title in Milwaukee. And Budenholzer has got them closer than they have ever been. He has got them to the Eastern Conference Finals, but he continues to fall short, when it comes to winning a title. It's not all on him. I always say that Giannis is a big part of that. He's a different player in the playoffs Chris Middleton, sometimes he looks great, sometimes he look average, sometimes he just look good, and that can't happen if this is the guy that you're paying over $100 million to, and he is a two-time All-Star and was close to being an All NBA player, and he was nothing like that, in the playoffs, and you can't continue to have them downgrade when it matters the most, and that's what they have done. Brook Lopez had a hot season and he hasn't played the same way since then. But they committed so much money to him that they don't have to live and die with him unless they can find a way to flip him. And even if they flip him, is they going to get equal talent or is they going to downgrade, trying to get somebody to replace him to get off his contract? Now he still is productive, he still is decent, but he's not a championship starting center, and they're paying him like that. And his 3 point shooting was nowhere near what it was before, and it was kind of a trap, and it was kind of false hope. But maybe he can get back to being decent from three, or he can get back to being above average because it's going to make him break his career as he gets older. Of how he's going to be able to, impact winning and how he's going to be perceived in the league if he continues to struggle like he did last season. Even though he was a great rim protector and a great defender, his offense took a big slide, and they needed him to do both. And he couldn't do that in the regular season or in the playoffs, which is unfortunate, but it's just reality. Now, Dante DiVincenzo is a guy that a lot of people like, and a lot of people feel like he is a good defender. They feel like if he gets more minutes in a bigger role, which he might get this year, he can be very good. He had a productive season off the bench. He was respectable, and I have to give him credit for that. But I don't look at him as good as Bogdanovich, but he is on a cheaper contract. He do have a lot of upside, and he has played well when he has gotten minutes. So you give him a shot and give him a try. But will he be able to be an upgrade over Wesley Matthews and the guys that they had last year? Can he give them the production that Malcolm Brogdon gave them? Because he's a guy that's basically trying to replace him. I don't see that. But we still do have to give him a fair chance and see what he brings to the table at the end of the day. And I think that that's going to be something interesting for this Milwaukee Bucks team as they're trying to find a way to get to that title, which they have been, continually coming up short to get. And, at the end of the day, you can go around and play the blame game. You can go around pointing fingers, but these guys have to own up to what their failures have been. They have to own up to what their shortcomings have been, and they just have to play better, especially when it comes to playoff basketball. And, even if they fire Budenholzer, it's eventually going to come back to their duo. Is Middleton and Giannis good enough? Can they lead you to a title as your two best players? And that's going to be the question until they're broke up. Whether Giannis leaves or whether Middleton leaves or if they do stay together, they eventually have to figure out how to get over that playoff monkey on their back. And, until then, they're just going to be stuck in mediocrity, and they're going to be a team that continues to fail their goal if they can't play well and do more. And maybe Drew Holiday is that guy to help them out. Maybe Drew Holiday is that guy that can balances out, in the playoffs to make up for their shortcomings. But we still don't know until we see it. And at the end of the day, that's a thing that we have to take into account when we think about the Bucks and how they play this year. But if I had to be honest, if I was Giannis, I would take the Supermax because you can get paid the most money and you can get all 5 years at a huge salary that can take care of you and your family, even though you should be fine already. And you're not going to be able to find that money anywhere else. And you're Giannis. You're one of the top three, top five players in the world. Any team would trade for you. We done seen Chris Paul get traded. We done seen John Wall get traded. We done seen Russell Westbrook get traded after they signed these type of extensions. So yes, you can still sign it. Yes, you will be movable. And yes, Giannis is young. So even if he does fall off a little bit, a team will gladly take a player like Giannis easily, even if he's not the same player that he is the last 2 seasons, just because he is a great rebounder, he is a great defender, and he is a decent scorer. in the regular seasons, and teams would, take a chance on him regardless because of his talent and what he can do on both sides of the court. And one man trash is another man treasure. They might not think Giannis is great. They might give up on Giannis, but another team will gladly take him, even if he declines. And he is a guy that consistently has gotten better each and every season, in my personal opinion. And that's why he's been the MVP back-to-back seasons, and that's why he's the Defensive Player of the Year. Now, just about him being loyal and committed to Milwaukee. He says he doesn't want to be traded. He says this is where he wants to be. Sign the extension, get your money, and figure out everything else in the future. And that's what you do. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for everybody that continues to do that and check it out. Not only that, you can buy exclusive merchandise like hats and shirts. They will be on display on my Facebook page. You can change the color of the hat, change the color of the logo, customize the hat and the logo the way you want it to be, and message me and I can get it shipped out to you. Not only that, you can buy exclusive merchandise that's only available on my spread shirt. If you want to check that out, it'll be in the description in the comment section below. So check that out. Not only that, at the end of the day, I make breakdowns of legends, players, rookies, and even summer league coverage and summer league breakdowns, free agency talks, trade deadline, playoff predictions, top 10 lists, season preview, and discussions just like this are the hottest topics and other varieties. And if you don't believe me, I have over 2,000 videos on my channel. And if you like this video, you want to check out the rest, feel free to do that. Also, like and share. Liking and sharing is another way you can support this channel without buying any merchandise. And also comment. Let me know what you agree and disagree on. I read every comment, so feel free to say it. Other than that, Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. I'm gone. See y'all tomorrow.